There's a lot of birds chirping here. I won't be able to hear them pretty soon because I'll be mowing and trimming this yard. All right, I'm going to jump in here because I talked too long during this intro that I made. I didn't want to bore you too much. So what we're going to have here is my first and second time ever mowing this lawn. And I'm going to tell you the story about how it goes and give you the highlights from both of them because some cool things happen and I wanted to show you those and let you know what can really come about from doing a good deed for somebody. So how I ended up at this lawn is because I posted up on the bulletin board at church this little flyer that said, free lawn care for those in need. And so I had it up there for a while, and I've only had a couple calls because of it, and I went out and took care of things for some people. But this guy was in need of lawn care, and he knew somebody that was at the church, and he talked to them, and they had seen my thing, and so they gave him my number. So that's how we connected. So while talking to him on the phone, I got to know his whole story. And we were chit-chatting and talking for a while, and he was amazed that I was going to come out and do this for free. He was offering to try and pay me something, and he was wanting to, establish some sort of regular service, but he was in kind of dire financial straits. And his age is 38 years old. So to me, that is a young man. And I mean, anybody under 40 is a young man to me, right? Anybody in their 20s is a kid now. So there you go. That's what happens when you're 54. And so we're talking to him. Look at that bug that just went across the screen. See, this is the kind of job that it's perfect for me because I've done 20 to 25,000 lawns by myself in my lifetime. And I ran into every possible scenario. So somebody else might be a little bit intimidated, not know where to start. Me, I'm just like, yeah, been there, done that. So I'm the perfect person for the job. I told him that, and he still really, couldn't believe that I was willing to take care of the lawn without any financial reward. But after talking to him, I mean, there was no way I could charge him because he was fully disabled last summer in August. This was taken care of right here. I'm doing this in May, this cut. And so it hadn't been touched really since then, because the place that he's living now is a place that someone is helping him out with really low expenses. I didn't get into the nitty-gritty of that, but I'm assuming his rent is going to be super cheap. Now, none of the problems in the yard and all the trash and debris and things that are left around are his. He's just moved in there and thankful to be there. He told me about everything that has happened to him in the last 3 years. That's about the time where it all started. And it just recently got to where he is legally fully disabled. And like I said, he's a young man. It's a shame that this has happened to him, but I'm happy that he's not in the situation that he was a couple years ago where he didn't even know if he was going to make it or not. After talking with him for quite a while, he still wanted to come up with a way to compensate me for taking care of the lawn because he also needed it taken care of for the entire season. And I told him, just let me come by, take care of the property, I'll get it back in shape. Oh, by the way, I hadn't even seen it yet, so it could have been sky high. I had no idea what I was getting involved in, but like I always say, don't be scared. And in this case, I was going to do it no matter what. It wasn't going to scare me off. Whatever I showed up and saw, I was going to, start working on it. And so I said, just let me put a lawn sign in your yard when I'm done, and just let me leave it up all the way through the spring and stuff, and we'll count that as, you're letting me advertise, and that's my pay. And he was like, oh man, I still want to do something else for you, but absolutely, put your sign up. That's what I did. I just showed up, and this is what you see. Now, this side of the house was pretty tall, and it was wet too. Now, down here in the ditch, that's to be expected, but even just the whole side here, which you'll see in a little while, was just soggy. Now, I didn't leave mud stripes this time, but the second visit, yeah, I had some troubles, but I managed to get around everything. The front yard was relatively easy for not being cut, at the end of the year and, yet this year. There was pretty bare, but that's because all the leaves were killing the grass because they hadn't been raked up or mulched up. and there were sticks everywhere. I piled them around the base of the tree and on the side of the house so I could take them away in some future visits, which I have already done. And when I come along here, you can kind of see, there's some height there. So I raised the mower up pretty high. It might look like a nice shortcut, but the mower has been raised up a lot. And I do that on the first cleanups just because you don't want to hit anything that's down in there that you might not see, which I'm not talking like a stick or nothing. I don't want to hit a brick. I don't want to hit a pipe that's sticking up out of the ground, anything like that. And I just want to assess the situation. It really helps when you know that you're going to come back to the lawn again in the future, like the next week. You can go ahead and cut it a little bit higher, and that way you don't leave any clumps or windrows, and you don't hit anything, and you get to really make it look good on the first pass. And then next week, you can take it down just another little notch, and then the next week, another notch. And before you know it, it's back under control. And so that's what I'm trying to do here. I will have to go back and forth, up and down the same rows, just because there's leaves down in there and things. And yeah, there were some lumpy, dumpy, clumpy parts flying out, and I had to go back over those. And, anything would have been a major help for the guy. But I also have the OCD lawn freak in me where I'm not going to leave, a mess for anyone either. So you'll end up seeing me go back and forth over the same spot 2, 3, maybe 4 times on some passes, because some areas are just thicker. There's different grasses mixed in, also weeds, and you just have to do what is necessary to not leave any clumps or windrows. Sometimes you can go back, like if I didn't go back over that area right there, I could have went back with the backpack blower and blew it off a little bit, and it would have looked a lot better too. But I'm like, no, I'm going back up and down again. What are that, 3 passes for that area? I'm pretty sure it was. So I'm taking care of this yard. Now, one of the things he did mention, and he was very embarrassed about, was the condition of the backyard and around the sides and stuff. There was a lot of trash. And he said it was all left here by the people that were evicted before him. So they were evicted sometime mid last summer, in August, I'm assuming, because that's what he mentioned earlier. It hadn't been taken care of since August. So they were the last people to do anything. And you're going to see their lawnmowers still sitting on the side there that they had left behind. And that was the nice section of things they left. The backyard was a disaster with, I don't even know how to explain all the things, like parts of a washer and just funky stuff laying all over wood and things like taking out parts of the kitchens and things like that. And it was just all piled up everywhere, and it wasn't like stacked up nicely. Now, I don't show the backyard because he was embarrassed of it, and he has big sliding doors on the back with no drapes up, and any way I filmed it, it would have shown in his house, and I didn't want to do that to him. It just didn't feel right. When I did get around back, it was kind of a hassle, but again, nothing that I'm not used to. I moved what I could and stacked it all into one little area, but there was some things that I couldn't lift by myself and all that, and I had to pretty much weed eat a big section and move around things so that I could get a mower to get in there and get to the bulk of the lawn. And, it's a work in progress. Everything seems to be a work in progress in life. You just keep going, and each time to get better. I can take away some things, which I did. I told him that eventually I would move it around because he's limited on the people that can actually help him do things too. I mean, his situation is very unique, and everybody's is, right? We're all our own individual, with our own people and connections and life circumstances. And so I'm just doing what the lawn guy can do. And I think I've done quite a little bit for him here. And in the future, I did do a lot more. You'll see a little bit here on the next pass. But yeah, this isn't bad for the first time. It could have been a lot worse. He called me early enough in the year, and I'm happy about that. The birds are still chirping. Not bad for how tall it was, and there's gumballs, of course, and I had to cut it on a higher setting, but it's looking like it's already back in shape. I just have to, you know, fine tune some stuff, get rid of these sticks eventually, and the rest of the leaves and things will go away as I continue to cut. And now I am going to do the trade-off. I'm going to put up one of my signs in the yard. Yeah, they're only one-sided because they're cheaper that way, and I only put them in yards that I take care of. I stick it right here, right in front. I'm actually going to put it out here on that side right here, and then anybody that drives around will know who to call. And then I will be back. I'm going to go ahead and jump into my second visit here. Don't be scared. All right, I'm back at the yard, and the birds are chirping and the dogs are barking in the garage over there. So it's gonna rain for at least 3 days straight. So I'm back at this yard and it's only been 5 days, not even a whole week, right? I'm gonna hit it now while I have a chance, because if I don't do it now, then I could possibly end up not getting back here 8-10 days after I cut it, right? And then it's going to be right back where it was. Still pretty tall because I did cut it on high. We're going to try and take it a little bit lower. It's dewy and wet. This is my second yard of the day, but we're going to go ahead and power through it. No charge. My sign's still out there. Hopefully I'll get a call. Maybe I'll get that one over here with the dog, right? You never know. Hey, it's funny how things work out. All right, I'm back for round number 2, and as you can tell, the yard is not as tall, but it was way more wet. I have a little trouble in this area once I start mowing. You'll see that too. Nothing I could do about it. It had to get cut, and believe it or not, it had only been 5 days. I didn't even wait for 7 because there was more rain on the way. That's what it's like around the Midwest in the spring. And sometimes you can be rained out for an entire week. Other times you can be scorched out for an entire month. It's hit or miss. You never know what you got. Wait a day, the weather will change. Right off the bat, you'll notice I wasn't having to do too many triple passes. I didn't really have to do double passes on some of the areas, but I still did them anyway because that's just my style. And the trimming was definitely way easier. I mean, I had just trimmed it 5 days before, so it wasn't an issue. And as you can see, this was a lot better, huh? And it's starting to fill in just, 5 days later from cutting. And by the end of the year, by the way, all those little bare spots started to grow grass and everything because there was no longer piles of leaves and gumballs just killing everything in the area. I had it all cleaned up. So along here, the ditch area was wet, but it wasn't really leaving any mud stripes. Now, once we started going along here, that's when I ran into some soggy stuff. And I mean, boy, oh boy, I know when to back off, and I know when to go ahead and power through an area, and I could just about do it. One of the ways you can tell is if you're not leaving a mud stripe with your Velke, that's the part that you're standing on. If you're leaving mud stripes with those wheels, then you might want to back off from putting your mower on it. But if it's just your big wheels leaving a little bit, well, that's okay. And by the way, the rain washes them away. I don't want to leave some lumpy, dumpy, clumpy stuff here. So that area like that, I'm going back over it, I am not going to leave it. It's just one of those things. That's called OCD. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fit a couple more things in here before I change the style from narration to more of a lawn care lifestyle vlog. You're going to see some unusual things, right? And so this yard, I'm taking care of it right here, this footage from May. It is now September. I've maintained this yard every week throughout until the last month. It's went down to every other week because the whole Midwest was so hot this summer, and now it's been dry and things are just burning up. So it's easier on me, and I have not charged him a single dime. I left the agreement with just the yard sign go because right off the bat, I picked up a lawn that was 3 blocks over. And then I also picked up a neighbor of theirs, which was 7 doors down on the same side of the street. So basically, I picked up a 2-top. I pull up, unload, and take care of them both, and then I can load up, swing around the corner, and take care of this one. And I also now have the yard right behind this one, and you're going to see some of that footage here in a second of when I just picked it up. And this day that I was filming here, I also get a phone call from a yard sign that I have up at the church. Now this is a different type of yard sign. This one also says free lawn care for those in need. And someone called me for that, and so I wanted to take care of it. But you're going to hear me talk on the phone and listen to the voicemail and then go to the other yard here. But you're going to notice that I am very shaky with my voice and full of anxiety, and that is because of the camera. I'm fully aware that I'm recording everything, and for some reason, ever since 2017, I have become very nervous filming on camera. I used to film everything all the time, but things have changed for me. I developed severe anxiety, and it's because of the internet and haters and things like that, but it's just also natural that I've always had anxiety. The camera makes it worse. So it's very rare that I do film, so I hope you enjoyed that, what I have. And make sure you hit a notification because it's very unusual and rare when I do upload a video. So you don't want to miss out. I don't flood your notifications with like daily uploads or anything like that. You'd be lucky if it's a monthly upload.
Message deleted. Next message.
Hi, this is Liam. I seen your sign in someone's yard, and I was curious if you're always in Warrenton, because I noticed your number is a 618 number. I was curious if you're always in Warrenton. I'm on a disability, and I need my grass cut and weed eated. If you can call me back, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
End of.
So I cut the yard, trimmed it, blew it off, and a couple freaky things happened. I get back in the truck and I have this voicemail, and so I'm going to call it back right now. But there's something else too. I'm going to show you. Hang on. Oh, sorry. This is Greg. I was calling you back about the lawn care.
Yeah, I was curious about that. How's that work?
Oh, well, so you saw one of my signs, but I actually am in that area once a week. But right now we got 3 days of rain ahead of us, so I'm not sure when I can get back to that area. But
Okay.
I got your message, and I would definitely help you out, take care of it, and I wouldn't charge you anything. It's just that I don't know when I can get to it. So,
Okay.
is it really bad, or is it?
Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's just that our belt broke on our riding lawnmower.
Uh-huh.
I mean, some areas are bad and some areas aren't bad, but we just really need it weed eated. And there's a lot of ticks out here because we live on 3.5 acres.
Whoa, 3.5 acres.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big one to tackle.
But there's not that much because, I mean, in the back of our house, it's all nothing but woods. So there's only around the house, because we just built a house, so it's only like maybe from the house, there's only probably, how far do you think this is? How much land
I have
to
not
cut?
did that. I have no idea.
Well, that's okay. I mean, like, you can just shoot me the address in a text or whatever, and I'll put you on the list, but I don't know when I can get to it, and I will definitely help you out. I can at least get all like the surrounding area around the house and things cut
Yeah,
for you.
that's what I'm needing.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I could do that. I could get you out of the jam, and I won't charge you anything. But
Okay.
but if you give me the address, I'll know a little bit about what I'm looking at. You can text it back if you can, or leave it on my voicemail, because I'm going back to a yard right now, and I'm just trying to keep going because rain's coming.
Yeah.
So definitely either text me or leave me a voicemail, and I will come by and help you out.
Okay, I appreciate it. I'll send you a text in a couple, probably about an hour.
Okie dokie, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, got another gig, but I'm gonna go ahead and help them out. I'm gonna keep paying it forward, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna do this. Okay, so I bumped my camera getting out of there and coming around here and knocked it and turned it off. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna squeeze right through here. Whoa, be easy, Greg, easy. Birds are chirping. I'm not gonna close that up yet, because by doing this yard for free and helping him out of a jam, I now have picked up a paying customer right there. My mower is in the yard, my trimmer and blower too. I outlined the backyard, and I went around the front, outlined it. I started a little bit of trimming in the back, and then I came back to the truck to get a drink of water and check all my voicemails, and things are moving. So I am going to get another drink now and then take care of that yard. And when it rains, it pours. Well, it's getting ready to rain and pour, and everybody is calling to have their yards done, and I don't have enough days in the week this time, not just hours in the day, but days in the week. That's part of the lawn care life. When you'll be sitting around with nothing to do, and then all of a sudden everybody is calling you, and you're running out of time. But I've learned it all works out somehow. Like this one, it sounds like it's a big yard, but not super tall. If it has to go a little while and then dry out, then it's gonna have to, because I'm gonna go take care of those people, and then I have two more about 8 minutes from here. So here we go. Oh, I will talk to you in the future. Don't be scared. Here are a couple pictures from the first couple visits. I did make an improvement, and over time things got even better. I have managed to get rid of a lot of the sticks, and around back I have moved all of that debris. Well, I took some of it away, but the big bulky stuff I moved off to the side, stacked it all up where it's just sort of in one section and doesn't look so, cluttered, and I'm able to actually have a bit of a backyard to just go boom, boom, back and forth from, make it look nice. So I know that his situation, he has a walker, so it takes him a long time to even come to the door. He does want to come and talk to me, and I appreciate that. And I know his situation. I feel bad. I've seen him trying to leave the house where somebody was coming by and picking him up, and it takes a lot of effort just to do that. So I'm glad I'm helping him out. Now, here are a couple pictures from the yard right behind this one. So the guy came over, asked me how much I would charge to cut the lawn. I gave him a price for weekly cuts, and he accepted. It's a smooth, not bumpy, flat yard, minimal trimming, easy peasy, unless you show up and it has been raining. I left massive mud stripes one day. I gave myself a thumbs down. Yeah, I was not happy about that. But on a sunny day, it does look pretty good. So yeah, do a good deed. You never know what's going to happen. And don't be scared. I'm still working on that one. If you made it all the way through this video, please leave a comment. Those are the most fun things for me to receive. I don't really worry about likes and subscribers and all that, but you can do that too. But a comment, I really enjoy those.